Andrea Tessmann.
Yes, Kirk Buchner.
Let's see who we upset today.
Sweet. Need more hate mail.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm doing quite a few shows here for Not in Hall of Fame. I did not think that the co-hosts that I would have on the shows that I do that would generate the most hate mail would be you.
That's great. That's like two. So you have not gotten hate mail on other shows, or more than like one?
No, well, no. I get constructive criticism per se. I get sometimes complimentary things, but no. On this particular one, on this show, how the hell did this go number one? We're talking about sometimes songs that people are very, very passionate about, but they're crap.
Well, and we also are very upfront about the fact that we're a couple of like middle-aged Canadians talking about shit we don't really have any business talking about.
I have a feeling, though, the people who are responding to us are senior Americans.
Probably.
Is my guess. I'm not really sure. Do we even talk about what we just got?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Let's just briefly, just an overview of the comment because it's pretty lengthy.
I kind of love it. Yeah. So like 2 weeks ago, we looked at "I Am Woman" by Helen Reddy. Hear me roar. Well, if someone roared at us, Jesus Christ. From Nubbendigger. That sounds racist.
I said it sounds mildly pornographic.
Yeah, well, like pornographic? It's like, well, you know, like I tried sex with this guy, but it was just a Nubbendigger. Didn't work out too good. Probably somebody might have said that about me at one point in time, but that's okay. That's kind of why I've only been with Asians. But anyway, no.
Gonna
pass
that one over and let's continue on.
Just want to point out I'm equal opportunity. I've been with many Black women, but that's another story for another time. It's true.
All right, back to
that. Okay, so wow, you two are pathetically out of touch with the backstory. I thought we did okay.
I thought we touched on the backstory.
Yeah, I did. And what was going on at the time? We talked about that. First of all, Helen was always an Aussie. Did we say that she wasn't? She just said, we're trying to talk about this from an American point of view. We don't give a shit how it went number one in Australia. We're pretty clear on that.
We commented that she was an Aussie. We also, I'm pretty sure I said that she got married just to get her green card.
Yeah, you were more offensive than I was, which I thought was sort of, you might have been.
Doesn't mean she's not an Aussie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she had been living there a whopping 4 years to get her green card. Before I Am Woman was first released, and yes, she had dual citizenship, as if this washes away the previous 25 years she lived in Australia. Did we say that? Whatever.
We never said she wasn't Australian.
No, we didn't say that at all. The song was written because Helen wanted a positive song about women and a wake-up call about female. We touched on that. We didn't say that it wasn't. Lyrically, we thought it was. I thought lyrically, yeah. We said it was brilliant. Just it was wishy-washy background shit. And okay, here we go. As for your elevator music crap, take a listen to what was on mainstream radio at the time, and 95% of 1972's top 10 hits would fall into that same narrow pigeonhole. You've made my fucking point!
They're all crap.
A lot of it is.
Even on online forums that I read about this sort of stuff and people talking about that song, like everybody was just like, oh my God, the 70s sucked for music. And this is people who that was like the prime of their life. So
here's what I honestly think about music. Like when a lot of people our generation or older say, well, music today sucks. My dad will say that. He says, Bieber, baby, oh. It's like, okay, there's great music in every generation. You just got to you always have to find it.
And often it's not the number ones.
Absolutely.
Often it's buried down a little lower on the charts, if it even charts at all.
Which is
or on some of the different charts.
which is the point of the show. So anyway, so here's the final thing that this lady had to say. I'm assuming it's a woman here because she roared. Ask your mothers about it because you two are obviously clueless. Well, ask my mom. She's got late stage Alzheimer's, so she couldn't really say much, but she came out of this and said this: "Nub and digger, fuck you." So that's kind of what she said.
Yep. So that's pretty much my response too. If you're going to write a scathing rebuttal to two idiots,
which were two idiots
podcast, we are the two idiots.
We are the two
on
idiots.
a podcast.
Yeah.
You should maybe actually even listen to what they say before you start telling them they're wrong about things you're agreeing with. So nub and digger.
Yeah, go nub and dig yourself there. Yeah. Anyway,
moving right along.
All right, so let's see what you have to say about this, yeah, nubbin fucker. Yes, we're doing the Macarena, and it turns out this is a song about a whore. I had no idea.
I listened to this shit in high school.
I didn't. Well, I listened to this in this would have been my last year of university, and I still remember when I was living with two girls. And I thought I was going to have a Three's Company sort of thing. Didn't quite work out that way for me. Go figure. Didn't work out for Kirk. Eh? Who would have thought? And one of my roommates then came back and says, "I just heard the Macarena and it was so much fun at the club." Yeah. This song blew. But let's look at who these two guys are. And this is what depressed me. Because I sent you a message earlier today and I said, these two guys, and I thought, man, look at these two decrepit old men. They're younger than I am now.
You look better than they do. They look like they're like 60, which makes it even creepier. But
at the same time, when you take that video, they're the only two that aren't dated. Because they're in pretty cool suits.
Yeah.
Whereas when you look at this video, all the women who were doing the dancing, this is the mid 90s throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they're just looking like classic, well-dressed Mexican guys at a fancy restaurant or performing on stage. Like it's just a classic look.
So these two guys, Los Del Rio, I couldn't find out that much about them other than they were marginally successful in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So they had been able to make a living musically for all their life, which is great. Good on them. Did you listen to the original? Because I never heard the original until I selected this. Yeah, I like the original.
Yeah.
Nice little Spanish flamenco thing going on. It's good. It's good. So
it's still very repetitive, but it's not nearly as annoying as the remix.
Right. And I think that's really what we got to focus on. I don't think maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Is this the only number one song that is specifically a remix?
I don't know.
I mean, I think so. Because when we're looking at this, like this came out in 1993 in Spain, did well there, and was a Miami DJ got wind of this and ran with it. But I don't think there's ever been anything where you look specifically at the history of number one songs. And Nub and Digger, this is only about USA. All right, so if you want to go look at all the stuff in Spain, go Macarena yourself.
Oh, Despacito.
That's a remix of some? Okay.
It's actually almost exactly the same situation of a Spanish or Mexican song that got remixed.
All right, but which is a much better song. Well, I think it is.
I would say that. I think there's been a few. There seems to be some. Oh, there's a Mariah Carey one. Fantasy went to number one.
Okay, but that was sort of like taking a bunch of stuff from other songs. That wasn't a remix of anything else, though, right? That was an original song with a backdrop of I believe the
Oh,
Tompkins
maybe.
Club.
I just did a quick search for number one's remix, but you know what? This might also be, who knows? But yes, Despacito is definitely one
Okay.
that was a full-on remix, very similar situation
Okay.
to this.
So this was remixed by the Bayside Boys. So I couldn't find out much about them. I sent you something from when they were on Oprah. This
Yeah.
was Oprah's skinny period, and Oprah.
So I
Oprah-
had a really good chuckle about this because
Yeah.
I remember the Macarena from when I was in grade 11 or whenever it came out. And I remember it being played at the Democratic National Convention and everybody dancing to it. And I remember it being played at a
Everyone.
Mariners game and like making a world record for the most people dancing to the Macarena at once. And I remember literally everywhere, elementary school dances.
Mhm.
And all I remember is blah, 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 Macarena, blah, 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 Macarena.
That's all everyone knew.
So, but listening to that Oprah, so when I went in and was looking at the actual lyrics and some of the controversy around it, and people, myself included, were shocked that she's saying, you know what? I shall recite the lyrics.
Please. Usually that's me doing
dramatically.
that. So
when I dance, they call me Macarena, and the boys, they say, que soy buena. They all want me, they can't have me, so they all come and dance beside me, move with me, chant with me, and if you're good, I'll take you home with me.
but that's the English add-ons.
Well, this is kind of the translation of it, though.
Yeah, but the English
it's not-
add-ons isn't any different than what they were actually singing about itself.
Exactly. But don't you worry about my boyfriend. He's a boy whose name is Vitorino. I don't want him, couldn't stand him. He was no good, so I... Now, come on, what was I supposed to do? He was out of town and his two friends were so fine. And then back to the Macarena. And then it gets even better. So, you know, she's now like doing the devil's threesome with her boyfriend's two friends.
That was the Devil's Triangle.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of names for it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's another one saying that, yeah, he was out of town. The lyrics aren't in this translation, but yeah, he's basically enlisting in the army, and his girlfriend is off getting spit roasted by his two buddies.
And to be clear, in the actual version from these two, this is what's going on. This is not the English add-on is actually saying what these two old dudes are singing about. And this is where it gets messed up for me. So from what I'm reading, the story is they got inspired when they were in Venezuela, and they just came up with some song, and then one of them just changed the name of the lady from Diana to Magdalena or something like that for the daughter of one of them.
Right?
It's like
that really threw me off too.
My daughter
like,
is
honor
a
of your
like
daughter.
what the fuck is going on here?
But I just couldn't believe that these were the English lyrics in this song that was wildly popular and played everywhere and played on the Oprah show, and nobody batted an eye at it.
Because nobody paid attention.
No,
I sure as hell didn't back then, because I can just speak for myself. It was just like I heard this and this was like an earworm, like click. All right, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to see a bunch of idiots doing the same thing that they like this fucking dance that is awful. That just right there, as soon as it came out, it's like, all right, this went from 0 to granny and nothing flat. No song, well, very few songs have ever done this. I'm sure there are others if we really think about it, but this was one of them. It's like, it's repetitive every wedding, every nothing. Like I went to Israel and on a fam trip, like when I was working in the travel business years ago, and they took us on this I forget what the hell we were. I was drunk the whole time, big shock. and they were just playing all this music, and I turned to this group, so guarantee they're gonna play the Macarena. And that's what they did.
Yep.
Hey, Nub and Digger, here's something for you. Yeah, they took us to where apparently where they said, well, this is where Jesus baptized a bunch of people, but they took us there at night. I was pissed off. I was drunk, and I said, well, shit, if Jesus could take a piss here, so can I. Yeah, I did. That's
So this
I got caught up.
song,
Yeah.
this
Anyway.
song was ubiquitous. It was everywhere, and it still gets
I
played. at
I
weddings.
loved how you just left that, but go on.
Moving right along. It still gets played at weddings. I don't understand, but also this one song, like we were saying, the Bayside Boys, don't know really anything else about them. They didn't do much else. They apparently, even with only 25% of the royalties off of this song, made over $250 million.
I couldn't find what the Los Del Rio made. I was finding interviews from them, and they said they had like gave a whole bunch to the publishers. They said they were living comfortably, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm sure there was all sorts of splits in the royalty, but if the girl singing on it, whatever Vanessa,
Carla Vanessa, I
yeah,
went on her
she
Instagram
just-
today.
oh yeah,
Yeah, she looks better now than she did then, or it's just I guess the filter that's sort of working.
filters do a lot for women
Yeah,
these days.
because I guess it's because I don't know how she went from sort of like a 6 to Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
that doesn't quite translate. So check out her Instagram. Or maybe you can do that right now if you want to.
Oh, I'm having a quick look here.
Yeah, because it's
Oh, she's got some good editing going on. I mean,
Well-
she's very pretty, but
right. But I mean, like you got to figure she's 50,
yep, yeah, there's definitely some good editing.
and good on her.
One moment, my cat's trying to break into the treats. Get off the counter.
Ivan's making an appearance.
Ivan, come here.
Ivan the cat. Ivan the terrible. Ivan, you might as well just show up on the show.
This is Ivan the Terrible.
How you doing,
My
Ivan?
spooky cat.
Yeah, we just got a new turtle, by the way.
Another one? Cool.
Yeah.
So now you have two again then.
We have 2 again. Yeah, a little quarterback is what I named him. Here's what I want to ask you. Now, I think if you're doing because the demographics in the US, and I say this for the US because like you and I as Canadians, we have a different demographic. We don't have a giant or a large Hispanic pop. We do, but we don't have the main Hispanic population. I was talking to an American friend of mine, actually Evan, and I was mentioning to him like when you and I, for example, if we see a word that looks European, I think we try to francophone it. Whereas I think Americans try to Spanophone it. I don't know Spanglish it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be. I honestly don't know. Usually when I try to be offensive, I'm overly offensive. Here, I'm not trying to be. But
English probably works.
Okay, Spanglish. Yeah. So yeah. I think the demographic in 95, 96 is a lot different than it is in 2021. So whereas you've got a lot more Hispanic songs propelled to the top, not just because they're good, there's a lot of good music out there, from that group, but it's just a different thing. I almost feel like this is a song then that made a lot of dumbass white people feel cool and hip at the time for a brief moment. That's honestly what I think. I thought that then. I still think that now.
I'd say that's probably fairly accurate. It's also probably the most annoying earworm, but it gets stuck in your head and it just doesn't leave. And then people seem to like anything that there's a dance involved.
Well,
that they
it's got
can
the hook.
actively.
Yeah, the hook, the dance. I mean, we've done this enough times where words and lyrics don't matter, unfortunately. They should, but they don't in most cases. I mean, no one's
Yeah,
paying
Nub
attention.
Digger, remember that. Just because the lyrics were good doesn't mean the song's good.
Yeah, we're gonna get thumbs down on everything. That's all
I
right.
doubt she's ever going to listen to us again.
No,
So.
no. Well, she's feuding with our good friend Brad. Your good friend Brad. Yeah.
Brad to the rescue.
Yes.
He may be wearing his underwear outside of his pants for that one.
Is that something you're not supposed to do?
Just superhero style.
It is. It is kind of. I would think. Well, yeah, superheroes
Exactly.
and pro wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Two things you enjoy.
Well, pro wrestling. Yes, I do.
Hey, I'm not judging.
I do. You know, I think when I'm sort of looking back at this, how did we all miss this? Everyone missed it. Then I'm looking at when I was looking at this, like, oh, TikTok just discovered this. Well, I guess I did too.
Yeah.
So how did no one pay attention, you think? Just because no one ever does?
I think we might a little bit more now. But I mean, so TikTok, for example, perfect example.
Mhm.
There was one TikTok trend going on for a while where people would change outfits and they'd just do this little like quick change. And so it would be like they'd be moving, and as they turn, it would cut and switch to a different outfit. And they were
Okay.
using what is the song now? But I gotta look this up.
I don't know. I don't have TikTok because I'm old.
No, but the song is so this is like a family friendly thing. So
Was it I Am Woman?
no. Oh, I can't remember, but basically like the lyric at one point is she puts my dick in her mouth. And there's like families doing this trend. And
What song is this?
it's bugging me now.
Well, now I want to know about this song. If it's Demi Lovato, I don't want to know it then. Come for the Macarena, stay for the dick in the mouth.
Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
Busta Rhymes. What is the actual touch it?
That's weird because usually rappers are known for their clean lyrics.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's all these like, so people aren't listening. They just hear fun beat and like catchy sort of
Which I guess this was, but I hated this then, but this worked for that era in that mid 90s weird vortex where grunge, hey Ivan, where grunge had sort of petered off. Gangster rap was also in a weird state because that was like right after Biggie died. Biggie and Tupac died, so they're still trying to find itself. So you've got a lot of weird shit went very successful in the mid 90s. I got a big one for us when I'm up next. That I think is, I don't know how the hell this went number one, but that's why we have a show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, about that sort of stuff. But yeah, I honestly think that this could only work then, couldn't have worked anytime. As much as I hate this remix compared to the actual original, but then I like traditional Spanish music. I don't necessarily know what they're singing, but there's just something about it that I like. I will give the people credit who did this remix, and when they put the video together, they could have easily left those two behind.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought them out for the video. The actual singer, Carla Vanessa, isn't in the video.
No.
Apparently, they say Tracy Elise Ross is.
I don't know who that is.
Diana Ross is, yeah, you do. Blackish.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Diana Ross's daughter. But doesn't look like her, but I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know what she looked like when she was younger, so maybe.
But I know that Carla Vanessa didn't get any royalties. She just got a flat fee for
Right.
doing it.
Well, yeah, I can't, you can't get upset. She can't even get upset at herself for that. I mean, like, how do you know? You don't know.
Why would you think that this POS is going to turn into a
Right.
ultra mega hit?
No, no, absolutely. I do hope that those two guys did get their money. I know that they felt that they were underpaid, but to what degree?
The song,
don't know.
as the original was, would have never been a hit in the States.
No. Oh God, no. No, it never would have been. So
I think they did better than they would have if the remake was never made.
right. Now, they were lucky.
Underpaid, potentially, but I
Mhm.
think they probably retired reasonably wealthy.
No, they're both still alive. I think they're still performing. One thing I read though too, they actually had an audience with the Pope.
Really?
Yeah, so like they're singing about a whore to the Pope.
But their daughter, the whore.
Who does this? I'm gonna have a dog named Jasper. Like if you berate that name Jasper, I'm gonna like knock you out. Let alone a daughter. Like what the hell?
Well, do we have anything more to say about this?
No,
probably worst one-hit wonder.
I don't even think it's the worst one-hit wonder. I think it's the only reason I say that is because as getting to know those two guys, I'm happy for them.
Yeah,
that they got lucky from something. Like two guys who were basically lounge singers who got to like sell a few albums here and there, get a few minor hits in Spain, and then they had an international hit that went #1 throughout the entire world. And they did this in their late 40s, and they weren't, from what I can tell also, they didn't go try to say, okay, well, we did the Macarena, so let's do the Magdalena. Maybe they did. I don't know, but I couldn't find that. Couldn't find anything more about anything else that they might have done.
No.
But
no,
like
I couldn't either.
Right, but like so many of those other ones, they didn't go back to the cow and milk it until it ran dry. It's like, all right, like we're gonna run with this.
This isn't a kung fu fighting situation.
Yeah, exactly. Or Stars in 45, like a throwback to episode 1, where they just came up with something and just ran that to the ground. I don't hate it as much as I did only just because of those two, learning more about them.
Yep. So you want to know what we're gonna do next week?
Sure. I want to try to guess. Give me a year.
Oh, I have to check the year. One second.
I never would have guessed last time when we did Undercover Angel. Oh, Brad, nice link there too when he said, "Here's the real Undercover Angel," and it was the movie. So, yeah.
Okay. 1983.
Ooh, okay. Male, female.
Male group. And I needed a break from the total crap. So it's something that's actually an enjoyable song. But it is a one-hit wonder.
Oh, okay. I was gonna guess something Hall & Oates, but that's not. So that can't be them.
No.
One-hit wonder. 1983. All right, I don't know.
Come on, Eileen.
All right. Yes. Okay. I've looked at this one as a possibility. This will be fun.
Dexy's Midnight Runners. One-hit wonder in North America, but they had some some success in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lots of turbulence. I think the song itself is interesting, but also the band seems to have some history. So this, I think, could be fun.
So I'm gonna do a video impression. So this only works if you're watching this on video. So my impression of sort of like the lead singer. I don't know his name. All right. So there we go. I gotta roll up the arms here. Look at the guns here. Because he's showing off the armpit hair. So yeah. Also, I wanted to show everyone's here. See, I got all my hair. Unlike, I think I do look way better than the Los Del Rio people at that point in my life. No?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. Well, Nubbin Digger doesn't.
Well, Nubbin Digger can go dig a nubbin.
Well, maybe Nubbin Digger needs some nubbins. And then she's gonna like thumbs down everything I ever do from here on in.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, on that nubbin note, stay safe, everybody. And hey, I wrote a book. Buy my book, Andrea.
I just might have to do that.
Yes.
What is your book called for the?
It's
heard it.
It is an autobiography. Well, not my autobiography, but of former pro wrestler, the late great Chavo Guerrero Sr. Instant classic. And we look at his life, and he lays it all out. Also, my good friend Chris Bournet, we are going to be doing another episode of this crap was on national television. You know what we're going to be doing?
What?
Cop Rock.
Cop Rock? I don't even know what that is.
Well, in the late 80s, the guy who did Hill Street Blues and later NYPD Blue thought, hey, let's do a crime drama TV show, but make it a musical. Yeah, it went. Yeah.
All right, I'll have to tune into that one for sure.
Yeah, it basically went as well as you're thinking. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. And Evan Nolan and I, we always do our weekly look at Hall of Fame stuff because this is not in halloffame.com. That's what we do. All right. So with that, stay safe, everyone. Even you, Nubbin Digger. Yeah, Nubbin fucker.
Good night, everyone.
All right, bye.